well, there's an issue. Something's missing there. Oh, no.
Oh, I see what. Okay.
Oh. In our last video on this truck, Steve and I pulled the old 350 out. We put a new 350 in with a brand new hydraulic flat tappet cam. We broke that camshaft in, but if you watched the last video, you might remember that it was making some funny noises. Now, one of those noises may be attributed to the fact that I think the muffler is completely clogged. But it also sounded like we may have had some noise coming from the passenger side valve cover. So today we're going to get this truck running again after we pull the valve covers and also potentially change the intake manifold because we had a coolant leak. So hopefully identify the noise. Hopefully it's nothing major. Get this thing running again with the mufflers cut off, and hopefully this thing will have a nice little lope to it. So why don't we dig in and get started. All right, so we're going to take this intake manifold off. I may have mentioned it before, but this one has had a problematic leak, and not just on this engine. So this came off my 55. Who knows where this thing has been, what it's been on. And I have a feeling that it may be either warped or there's a hairline crack somewhere that we can't see. But luckily I happen to have another one, just lying around. So I brought that with me. We're going to swap that out. Hopefully that will fix our problem. But more importantly, once this comes off, we can actually look in the lifter valley. And between that and looking once we pull the valve covers, hopefully that'll be able to tell us whether or not we have any damage from our cam break-in. So just about ready to pull this intake off. We got everything, well, the bolts, carb, distributor, everything's out of the way. Steve already loosened this up with a screwdriver, so this should come off fairly easily. Oh, all right, well,
That's not good.
There's an issue.
It's like a straw. At least it's better than a paper straw.
I mean, the lifter still looks perfect. So this lifter was actually just hanging out in the lifter valley. It got thrown out of the bore by the cam, but that still looks pretty good. It doesn't look beat up at all.
No, it looks fine.
All right, well, with the exception of the push rod, at least in the lifter valley, I don't see anything catastrophic, but hold on, we still have time. We're gonna pull the valve cover off now, and hopefully that'll point as to why that lifter was out of the bore and the push rod was snapped in half.
Okay, now.
All right, let's see what cool stuff we have behind door number 1. Oh, no.
Oh, I see what. Okay, I know what it is.
Yeah. All right, so obviously this is our problematic cylinder, and something's missing there. Somehow that valve lock is right there, and that's not supposed to be like that. It's not ideal, but we didn't drop the valve, which is a good thing, and nothing else looks really beat up. So I think the plan is going to be, obviously we're going to have to compress the valve spring, get that lock back in there. We're going to run a borescope in there to make sure that we didn't damage any of the lobes on the camshaft, or at least on that one lifter. I mean, even the lock is not beat up, not chewed up. I can't believe we didn't drop the valve. All right, so before we attempt to actually repair anything, we're gonna dive in a little bit deeper and hopefully not find any more damage. So I'm gonna pull our number 2 spark plug out. We're gonna get the borescope in there. Because if we have a valve stuck in the top of the piston, then we have some issues. Doesn't mean that it's healthy in there, but we didn't cave in the spark plug. So if it did let loose in there, we have a good plug. So we could use that for the next engine that we put in here. All right, so the good news is that half of our valve is not jammed in the top of the piston. Trying to get the camera to kind of turn over, so see if I could see the valves. All right, we backed the rocker off of the stud on the cylinder head, and Steve and I both agree what we think happened is this rocker actually pivoted off the top of the valve and was pushing on the retainer on the valve spring, and that's what allowed that lock to pop out and ultimately cause the push rod to break in half, I think. What we're going to try and do now is we're going to release the valve spring, and with the borescope in cylinder number 2, we're going to try and spin the valve just to see if it gets tight or anything like that, because without pulling the head off, it's really the only way to tell whether or not we have any damage to the valve itself, other than doing like a leak down and a compression test. which we'll probably end up doing later on as well. It's like an onion so far. Just keep peeling back the layers to try and figure out what has happened. And I've said, oh, way too many times while looking underneath the hood of this truck, whether it was this engine or the last one. Now that Steve and I are pretty confident that we did not cause any damage to the engine, thankfully, now we got to figure out why that happened, because it should not have happened. But I think we came up with the solution or the answer as to why that occurred. And I think we're pretty fortunate that we caught it in time before it either caused more damage or more lifters or push rods were affected. So come with me and I'll show you. All right, so these are the heads that came off the engine that were in the truck, which we obviously did not use because they're currently sitting in the truck. Now the block, I don't want to say it's an unknown, but it was a short block out of something. We're not sure where it came from, and it didn't have any cylinder heads. And the heads we did use were spares that Steve had on the shelf. So anyway, this obviously is the push rod that broke. Now, if you look in there, all right, there's almost zero side-to-side movement for that push rod. It can go up and down depending upon like the geometry of your valve train, but side-to-side, you have nothing. Now, this is a stock, or was a stock, 7/800 5/16 small block Chevy push rod. Now, let me show you the heads that are on the truck. So now, if you look at the push rod that's still intact and on the cylinder head, you can see diameter-wise that hole is much larger. So what we are thinking happened, as the engine was running, this push rod had room to go side to side and basically take the rocker with it. And that's what ended up walking it off the top of the valve spring. Now there is a fix to that. We did a little bit of research. It seems that 87 and up small block Chevys came with what's called a self-aligning rocker that look like this. These here. So you can see those little tabs on either end. So those two little tabs on either side are actually going to keep that rocker arm centered on the top of the valve and hopefully prevent this from happening again. So what we're going to do now is we are going to reinstall the valve spring that Houdini'd itself off of the cylinder head. We're going to put the lifter back in, get our new intake manifold on and sealed up, and then we should have a new set of rocker arms tomorrow and hopefully have this thing running then. All right, I'm going to cut our exhaust off basically right before the mufflers, because these things are clogged pretty badly, and we want to hopefully eliminate that popping and backfiring sound that we were getting when we ran the truck the first time. So zip these off. This is just good TV, folks. And that's what our muffler looked like on the other side. So last night in the dark, Steve and I buttoned this thing back up. We got both valve covers back on, distributor in, ran our plug wires. We just reconnected all of the super janky wiring that we had put together.
Watch your mouth.
To get this thing to run. My apologies. Now I think we're ready to fire this thing back up and see if we have any success. The one thing I am going to do is I'm going to lower the idle on this carb. We had it turned up for the initial cam break in, and I would prefer not to have this thing fire up and go immediately to the rev limiter. So turn that down a bit. Could run, could explode.
Even. Sounds even. Is it all the way plugged in?
Oh, hold on a sec.
It's not any of the way plugged
Nope.
in. This is why you guys watch this channel.
Yeah,
Because it makes you feel good about yourself. When you watch two people as bad as we are, you go in your garage and you just feel like Superman. Pro tip, just remember to plug in your distributor. I mean, if you want spark, that is.
Oh, yeah?
Ready?
Yep.
Too much timing. You got a vacuum leak.
All right, so obviously it lit off there real quick. I don't know if you could hear the extreme whistle that's coming from this thing, but we're pretty sure we have a substantial vacuum leak. So we're going to snug up on some of the intake manifold bolts and see if that does anything. Hopefully it does. The good news is that it did not sound like a 5-gallon bucket full of marbles. It only ran for a couple seconds, but no noise so far, so fingers crossed.
You hear me playing with marimba with the car? It's like Morse code. Tight, right?
Yeah.
Let me see if maybe I can get a little stronger.
We need a new gasket.
Yeah, definitely.
Dude.
No flicking, no nothing.
No.
Sounds fantastic.
Yes. Oil pressure's good.
Good?
It's like 100 degrees.
Yes. Sounds good. Runs good. Oh, yeah,
Well, I know the last video on this truck maybe didn't go as well as we had hoped, but thankfully changing out a couple of different parts and we have a runner. This thing is extremely quiet. It sounds really good. It has a nice lope at idle, still makes good oil pressure. Can't ask for much more than that. Who knew that having the correct self-aligning rocker arms would have made that much of a difference? And now the best part is that now that it runs, now we can actually start the metal work on this truck. We have to repair the frame. We actually have a brand new one-piece floor for this truck sitting somewhere back there. This truck's going to get the whole treatment, but we have a good foundation now. A nice, clean-running small block Chevy, and this is going to be a really cool truck when it's done. So thank you guys, as always, so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, if you like the truck, and you haven't already, please consider subscribing. We'll see you guys very soon.